Hey Stampers, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a little review on one of the new stamp sets in our 2019 catalog called Band Together, and it has a coordinating die set called Detailed Bands Dies, and this is what they look like. Very beautiful set of dies. So the stamp set is a outline of a beautiful flower. It's very large. I'm not sure what kind of flower it is. If I was gonna guess, I would go with a dahlia maybe. It's very, very big. It does not fit on the I block. It does not fit on the E block. It fits on Stampin' Up's largest block, the F block though. Or if you have a Stamparatus, it will fit on a Stamparatus. So keep that in mind when you purchase this stamp set, that you need a large block. So it has a really nice large flower and 6 really nice sentiments. It is under the Artistic Expressions section of the catalog. It has many tasks though. It could be a card for a friend. It could be a support card. Or it could be a birthday card, or celebrating a new baby, or a wedding, or you're amazing, your chicken just won first place in the state fair card, or I love this saying, beautiful inside and out. That's definitely one of my sayings. Sister, you'll be getting a card with that one. So I like all the sayings. The dies are really nice. I've cut them all out so that you can see what they are actually. So I'm actually going to have to turn it this way so you can see all of them. The bands, the reason it's called bands is because of these dies. They can be wrapped around the cards, or you can just clip the ends off. I've got some samples I'll show you. This isn't actually one of the dies, but I wanted to show it to you. It's the inside of this die here. It has 2 nice label dies, this one and this one. There are 2 leaf dies, this one and this one. I love this one. It's so cute and detailed. And then there are 2 dies that coordinate with the stamp set. They cut out the center of the flower and the leaves. Set of leaves here. So it cuts out this portion of the flower and these leaves. And so that's all of the dies and the stamp set. And so I've made some cards using them both. Here's one. It is made on a crushed curry base and a terracotta tile. I stamped it in the crushed curry first, and then I came back with the aqua painter and painted a little bit more ink on with the terracotta tile and the crushed curry. And with this part, I used the granny apple green. This is the new crushed curry seam binding ribbon. And the sentiment, I like the sentiments that can be cut apart like that. It was the so grateful we are friends, and I stamped it in the terracotta tile and then cut it apart. I like to be able to do that with the sentiments. Here is another card. For this card, I used the new 6x6 designer series paper in the one of the new 2020 or 2019-2021 colors. This is Purple Posy. These are the new 6x6 DSP. There's 4 new designs. I'm not sure what to call this design. But then there's a script design, a little stitched diamond design, and a gingham. And then it comes in all the new colors, the pretty peacock, the purple posy, the rococo rose, seaside spray, and the terracotta tile. I made this awesome sample with one of the other demonstrators, Kay Cogbill. Makes it really easy to show you. So this card, I stamped it first on a piece of white. I believe I used Old Olive, and then I did a wash with the aqua painter, and then I stamped it on the 6x6 DSP, the gingham design, and then I did the same. I pulled out a little bit of the color and added a little bit more of I stamped it with Highland Heather, and then I painted a little more of it on. So I went with a little bit of a darker purple on top of the purple posy, and then I flicked some of it on also. And I cut out the flower and stuck it on top. Same with this portion of it. And with this card, I used the Rococo Rose 6x6 script paper, and I stamped the flower in, I believe it was mint macaron. Yes, mint macaron on white, and I cut out half of it. And I stamped the flower again in the Rococo Rose. I did a little bit of the aqua painter wash again, and I stuck the flowers again on top. So this one's a little bit raised, and this one's a little bit raised more with the dimensionals. I used the band on this one. Oh, I didn't tell you about the band on the other one. I have to go back and show you this band. This was also this is one of the bands from the die. It's the smaller band. This is it, the smaller band here. And then, of course, the happy birthday stamp. And this is the medium size band. This one is this one, and I did just cut it at the end. Same with the other one, I just cut it at the end. Then this punch is the new Timeless Label punch, and it's popped up with some dimensionals underneath. And in the mint macaron is what this color is, and I washed mint macaron on a piece of white and then stamped it in the Rococo Rose and then punched it and then popped it up on here is how I did that. And this one, so if you would like to see a better shaded one, because the shading on those is sort of haphazardly done, this time I stamped it in the Memento on shimmery white paper. I think it works really nice with the blends markers. It gives you a little more time to blend. And so then I came back and blended it with the Calypso Coral and the Granny Apple Green. And here's the band again. This time I went over it with some of the new scalloped lace trim ribbon, and the ribbon I went over it with sponged some Granny Apple Green on it and went over that and made it a little tint of green. This band, this time I just folded it around the card. I didn't cut it off, it's just folded around. I used some iridescent sequins in the Calypso coral. For the sentiment on this one, I stamped it in the Granny Apple Green, and then I cut it out. And then I just used the blend marker and went around the edges of it. It's not really raised up. I'm going to come close and let you see that. And then for the other part of that sentiment, because it is the You Are Amazing. So there's the You Are, and then on the inside I put the Amazing. I stamped it in the Granny Apple Green, and the Calypso Coral I stamped it and then I fussy cut it out and it sort of raised up just a little. And those are the leaves of the stamp leaves. So with these first few that I showed you, the flower really is the main attraction of the card for most of those. But since it's such a big stamp, it can really be used as a background stamp also, like I've done here and without any of the bands either. They're not required for this stamp set to work. You don't have to have them. They're beautiful, but you don't have to have them. The stamp is big enough that you could just use it as a background stamp. With this card, I used the seafoam, soft seafoam, and the soft seafoam ink. I stamped it on there, and then with the Highland Heather, I punched out some butterflies with the Butterfly Duet Punch. And then I like sentiments where I can change the color of some of the words, and that just sort of makes them pop a little more. So with these sentiments, I like how they've made part of it in one font and the other in a different font, where you can sort of do like I did with this one, make them different colors. So there we go. So I wanted to show you a card really quickly. Hopefully this is going to go quick. Another way that you could use this stamp just as a background stamp. I have most of it put together, but I figured it would be one of the harder cards to describe to you how I made it. So I'm going to take a piece of, this is very vanilla cardstock. I've left the big flower stamp on my F block. You could do this with your Stamparatus if you wanted to, but most of those cards that I made, I used the stamp block. I like being able to be a little more free-handed with it. So I got it all inked up with Old Olive, and I'm going to put it right in the middle of my piece of Very Vanilla. And I already cut out a mask for this because I want to mask off that stamp, that flower that I just stamped. And I could put something on the back of that to hold it down if you wanted to, but I'm not going to. And I also don't want too much more of the bottom part of this stamp to stamp anymore. So I'm going to ink it all up again. And when you have a big stamp like this, it's best to lay it down like that and ink it up. It's hard to tell whether if you ink it this way, it's hard to see if you're getting it all or not. So this next flower, I just want to put it right over here, like it's coming up underneath it. Like I said, I think this is a dahlia. So once you stamp it and you remove the mask, hopefully it looks like it's coming up from behind there, right? And so I'm going to put this back again because I want another flower over here on the other side too. And I don't, again, want much of it to show. I just want a little bit of it really to show. I guess I don't have to ink up the whole stamp, but I did. I'm gonna just adjust that a little, and I'm gonna put this flower right in here. That would look good. There we go. All of this can go away. I already have a bunch of this cut. This is cut from the new, oh, what is the name of this paper? This is the new pretty Peacock paper. I have to get a sample. I have a sample of it just like the other one. Here it is. Here's the new pretty. This is so beautiful. So this is the Noble foil sheets. It comes in Old Olive, the Blueberry Bushel, and the Pretty Peacock, which is one of the new 2019 in colors. And then there's also a coordinating another set of paper, the Noble Peacock Specialty Designer Series paper, with the Blueberry Bushel, the Old Olive, and this is Old Olive, Blueberry Bushel, and Pretty Peacock in it too. Oh, maybe you couldn't see it. And so I used the larger banded die and cut it out of the Old Olive Noble Peacock foil sheet. And this is it. It came out beautiful, didn't it? And so I'm just going to lay this die about right here. And in order to keep it stuck to the sheet, I think it will be really easily held down just with a little bit of tape, a little bit of tape or glue on those bands, and then position it about where you want it. And again, this is just like a background stamp now, not really so much a center stamp. And I had already bent it some, but I'm just going to bend it around this piece of paper to hold it there, just like ribbon. So that's why they're called bands, is because they're just like little bands. And then I have this piece that I cut it out of. You don't want to waste that. I'm going to put some more tape here and there on it. And oops, I'm out of runner on that one. It should do. And we're going to just line it up on this card base. It's the very vanilla card base. And since I'm out of tape now, I'm going to use some glue on the back of this one. This is my trusty glue, is what I call it, because it's always there when I need it. Gonna put that right on top of that and cover up the spot where I cut out that beautiful band. I stamped this in Old Olive, and then I put clear embossing powder on top of it, and so it has a little bit of a shine to it. And then I used the oval die to cut it out, and I got some dimensionals on the back already. I'll pop it on there, and nope, I want it to be more even than that, please. There we go. That's a little better. You are amazing. Your chicken won first place at the state fair. So I have to say, if I was going to approve or disapprove of this stamp set and die set, that I would approve. I like it. Here's the other cards. I did like the stamp set. I love the die set also. They are the bands are beautiful. They're not necessary to buy the die set to coordinate with the stamps though. So I say thumbs up for this stamp set and die set. If you have any questions, feel free to put some in the comments. I will put the link to my store if you would like to purchase any of these products. Please make sure you give me a thumbs up on the video if you liked it. Make sure you subscribe. And as always, have a great day.